Sup guys, Mikey here for the Yu-Gi-Oh Council with Tech Tuesday. Yay! Let's talk about this card. Forbidden Apocrypha. Now, I don't think this has ever been talked about on Tech Tuesday before, and I like to bring it up because I like to think of this as a mini D barrier, an alternate dimensional barrier, and cards that stop monster types. So what this does is you can declare an extra deck monster, fusion, synchro, or exceed, and if two or more monsters of the declared type are on the field, you can make each player send all monsters of that type from their field to the graveyard. Now obviously, compared to Dimensional Barrier, which includes exceed monsters, and instead of forcing players to send monsters of that type to the graveyard, D-Barrier essentially locks out the turn player, or rather your opponent. It locks out your opponent from activating the effects of the declared monster type or summoning them. So yeah, this is an extreme downgrade to Dimensional Barrier, but if you're a budget player, you make do with what you have. So if you don't want to buy Do Barrier, if you don't want to if you don't have the money for it, this is the card to go to. And there are pros and cons with every card, as with this one as well. So the cons, one of the easiest ones to say is that it is a trap card. So spell speed 3, and it can easily be destroyed by Twin Twister, MST, Archfiend Eccentric. Oh, and by the way, sorry for the late upload. I was out all day, and I just came back, and now I'm doing this. So anyway. So yeah, stuff that pops back row would heavily stop this card from being used. Also, there has to be two or more monsters of the type on the field. So if there's a way for your opponent to remove the monster from the board, this card becomes ineffective. And with that being the case, this card becomes ineffective as long as the requirements cannot be met, which being two or more monsters of the declared type on the field. So the best way I can say this is, like, for example, Metal Foes. If you activate this and they have something to destroy their cards, well, this card ends up being useless, right? Another problem with this card is it does not stop pendulums. If it did stop pendulums, it would have been broken. And I think it wouldn't be like $10, $15. No, that would be ridiculous. It would be at least like a $7 common. Like, it wouldn't be as crazy as when Vanities was first discovered and it shot up to like $30. No, it's not that crazy. So the pros of this card is that it does send all monsters of that type from the field to the graveyard. So the reason I bring this up is because sending is a term that can not relatively be stopped. Most cards are affected by destruction or banishing or